how we look back and we realize that there was still trauma in that, in the different cliques and the different things that we went through. And then now looking back, we realize how trivial they are, because the truth is we were all insecure. That was just the facts on the table because of our developmental cycle. We were 13, we were 12, we were 11, we were just preteen stroke, almost teenagers, but we were just all hormonal, and our bodies are changing and our emotions are changing. And I don't think we were ever told, you're fine, it's okay, it's normal. Your bodies are developing. You're trying to figure out who your friends are. You're trying to figure out whether you like your body even in the first place, or it's annoying you that you're not in control of what's happening to you. So I'm interested to know, you guys looking back, how would you, or even as you raise children in this day and age, what are some of the things you'd speak to your preteens and your teens, young teens, about as they maneuver their sisterhoods in school and the cliques? Because it's not that cliques are new, they continue and they still continue. And how to maneuver, just that space.
Can I
go
start
ahead
on this topic?
Go ahead.
I think I'm actually going through it.
Go ahead.
So for those who don't know, my son is autistic, and he's been bullied here by other kids in the estates. So I'm trying to not beat a child because because it's really just, for him, he really doesn't care. He's not even noticing it. Because they'll come and be like, why doesn't he talk? Is he even okay? Does he even know anything? And I'm like, who is your parent? Like, why would you even? But no, they're kids. But then now when you have adults bullying a child, that's why now I'm just like, what is the reason, So I'm trying to get more mature ways or better ways to handle this whole situation. I still haven't handled it yet, because I'm thinking of maybe even sending like a WhatsApp group to the estate WhatsApp and just let them know about his condition. But I'm like, do I even need to explain myself to these people? But then, and then I feel like they'll think I'm looking for sympathy, and I'm really not looking for sympathy. For me, it's just me protecting my child. Like,
exactly.
You want to protect your child,
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's karma. To be honest, sometimes I think it's karma because of what I did to people in primary.
I know.
No, Grace.
I really think it is.
No.
Please forgive yourself.
And
then realize that it's not, you're not the you who you were last year. And then the you who you are right now, double that to 2005. No, 2002.
3, 2.
You were a child, and sometimes children sometimes they do things because they don't know any better. So imagine, forgive yourself kabisa.
So just to answer your question of what we can share with the children or their preteens now, if there's one thing I'm seeing that I think is common with every preteen, is that it doesn't matter what era you come from, but you will still struggle with your confidence because you're developing. So I think that's one thing we can maybe talk about, because I think I remember even a scenario with some kids, some young girls, just giving them advice on how to help a friend who has just stained her dress, like, where do we go? Now we're sweating and it's excessive sweating and we don't like how we smell, and you can't control that. There are just some things you cannot control with body development. And how can girls come together and support each other instead of making fun and bullying each other? And then also, how can I work on my insecurities? It doesn't matter how young I am still allowed to have the ability to learn how to be self-aware. And if I'm not feeling great about myself, I can talk about it instead of inflicting pain on others, or dying by myself and then getting to high school with zero self-esteem or zero knowledge of who I am, So I was thinking that those are things I think we can all talk to, because we all experience that. It's relevant. It's still relevant.
I journaled a lot growing up. I journaled. I wrote down a lot. It helped me exhale when I was feeling sad. I went and wrote all the things I was feeling. Me, I remember writing a lot of letters to my parents, and they will tell you how when we concerted, they would just find a letter has been slipped
under there,
under the door.
Yeah.
And so don't hold those things in, because you have so many feelings when you're young. The only problem is you don't have the maturity to let it out. So either you hold it in and become like this sad person, you know, and that's not how it should be. So I would encourage them to let it out, do it. An example is through journaling, and then do things you love to do. If you love art, paint, you know. If you love talking, and talking is how you get things out, find that one good friend who you can talk to. Just don't sit down with your thoughts and your feelings. And definitely, if you're experiencing bullying, speak to an older person about it. Speak to someone about it. Don't keep it inside. Don't think that you deserve it or that it's okay. Speak to an older person about it, and they will know how to deal with it. Yeah, and then you don't have to have many friends. That's another thing, and that has been my life mantra. Me, I don't have many friends, you people. I struggle to. I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people think we're friends because I talk to a lot of people. But in essence,
all you as friends, you know.
No, not like that.
No, but I get it.
No,
You don't have to
get
yeah,
it.
I've always been in the okay, I don't shy away from confrontation, by the way. No, I don't like it, but when it comes, I deal with it. And so because I don't like confrontation, even though I'm confident, I usually will talk to everybody. I'll be friends with people here, I'll be friends with people there. And what usually that means is that I don't have like a home. I don't have like a place with just my people. So as I've grown up, I have learned to, if I was to go back in time, I would keep in touch with more people who I felt that there was a connection with. But I would say it's also okay to just have that one or two who you can go to have the, you know, don't. I think when you're young, like me, for me, I wanted everyone to like me, and it doesn't work like that. Also, my personality type is usually touch and go. I don't like following people for lunch or always sitting down with someone. It's not me. So it's okay to try and figure out what it is, who it is that you are, what it is that you like, and then be okay with it. And be okay struggling with it, but your goal should be to be okay with yourself. I don't think you think about your identity and who you really are. You struggle with it subconsciously. You don't know you are, but you're struggling with it. But you don't take time to understand or answer that question, who are you? And that question should be answered from as early as preteen. Who are you? What is it that you like? It shouldn't be, you know, the way we always ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yes, please.
You know, it's not just about that. That's important. Have goals, have dreams, which I'm sure Hazel can give us. Hazel had her goals from Zamani.
They change. Goals change. You can't really.
Of course, they change, right? Yeah, but from an early age, it's good to have like a plan or an ambition, not a plan, sorry, but an ambition, right? But also, what's very important is for you to sit down and ask yourself, who am I? Am I kind? Am I loving? Am I a happy, jumpy person? What makes me sad? You know, those are questions we don't expect children to know, but it's very important for them to know. And like even right now with my son, I try not to invalidate his feelings. He's only like 3 and he's about to turn 4 in May. But when he's angry, I'm like, and he tells me I'm super angry, I tell him, okay. I don't tell him, Apana, you're not angry, chapa. No. I'm like, okay. I allow him to be angry, and I'm like, I know you're angry, but it's time for bed, you know. And he'll be like, with his hands together, and I'm like, I know you're angry, but you can't put your hands together like that. Put your hands down, and he will do it, you know, even in his anger. And then I'm like, okay, breathe in, and we do that together. Breathe out, and he does this breathing and breathe out. And if there were tears, you see the tears go away. But we don't expect children to be emotional creatures, and yet they are. Children are just us, but like in smaller packages. You know, they have emotions, they have feelings, they get angry, they get sad, all these things together. They can have bad days. But almost when you're a kid, before you turn 18, no one expects you to not feel like getting up today. No one expects you to not, you know. And so, I would encourage them to like be aware of themselves. What is it that they like? What is it that they don't like? And that will enable you even to explore, to want to set to set milestones you want to achieve for yourself. You know, you can say, I'm realizing I'm an angry person, or I react quickly out of anger. I need to practice patience. But if they're not taking time to be self-intuitive, they just grow like that and start catching up when it's almost too late. So I don't know if I've made sense.
No.
A lot of sense.
Yeah.
I guess. Sorry, Sylvia, you go first.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Just to add on, again, as Wakesho had said, no children yet, although I have a 9-year-old sister. So so I kind of like sort of parent by proxy. So I kind of get what you're saying. But again, if it's giving advice, and really, I don't know, I like to think of confidence, because I mean, like, everything Eva you've talked about, asking those questions, who are you, your identity. I mean, it's something I think for the longest time I always not really struggle with, but always sort to ask myself, like, who am I? Why? It came from a place of so very negative place, trying to what's the word? Like not liking who I was. So I wanted to know like what's wrong with me. And then, as the years move on, you're like, no, you're okay, there's nothing wrong with it. And then I guess, through that you become more self-aware. But just on the confidence aspect, I would tell, young girls, and again, I always, maybe girls who are a bit more, what's the word? I don't know if meek is the word, or shy, or not even shy, but sort of, I think, perfectionist. Yes, like because I can relate. It's okay to be who you are and to show that to the world. Like, you don't need to maybe change and twist and turn so that other people might like you. But it's okay, to just be who you are, whoever that is, and show others, let others in, and let other people see that experience. And again, to touch on what Eva you said, about what do you like to do, what are your interests. I'm not saying 12, 13-year-olds don't have it figured out, I'm sure, but I feel like that there's some things which are so intrinsic to maybe who you are as a person, and you like them, but you might not want to explore it. And I guess that's a part of self-identity, and maybe you hold it back, or you push it back because you're not meant to like this, you're not meant to be like this, or you're meant to go down. And I guess maybe that affects career choice or whatever jobs people make. But I feel like, again, just being for doing what you like, and following those interests. If you're interested in something, if you like it, explore it. It doesn't have to be that if you like art you'll become an artist, but it's okay to explore things that you like, and not be afraid to let others see that. And then who knows how things will work out. So I don't know if that makes sense. But just don't be afraid to show people who you are. And like, as I say that, I'm speaking to myself, but I think it's so important, especially at that age. It's so important, because I feel like we leave those things out, and then you reach that age, you're like, I didn't think I wanted to go down this way. I always wanted to do this, but for some reason I was doing this because I meant to, So I genuinely believe that there are some things which are intrinsic to who we are as human beings, but we don't want to listen to them. We don't want to, like, you quiet down that voice, and you're like, no, it's okay. And then it eventually catches up with you, maybe just many years later. So to tell the young kids these days.
I think for me, I would add it gets better, you know. Like I remember, you know, at that moment, because there's so many emotions that are going through you. You're a preteen or you're a teen, like you're just like, wow, like you don't know how to handle your hormones yet, you know, your emotions. You're like, I like this boy, but I don't feel I don't feel confident in myself, or I have acne. Like I struggled with acne. I mean, I still struggle with acne scarring till today, you know, and I struggled a lot with, okay, so will guys ever like me? And you know, that's the time when you're like, wow, you know, you're noticing guys are noticing you. You're like so self-aware. You're like, hey, will it just gets better. So in that moment, yes, it seems like things are overwhelming. Of course, there's the added pressure right now of social media. There's Akina, all these celebrities that you're looking. So I was saying it gets better. In that moment, of course, now there's the added pressure of social media, and I can't even imagine how much worse that is, with the trying to be accepted and accepting yourself and trying not to conform to the standards that have been set. You know, like I'm always seeing these comparisons of me when I was 12 versus a 12-year-old right now. You know, as we had our struggles, yes, but we could be us, I mean, relatively.
That's true.
But now, like, there's a standard of, I don't know how 12-year-olds are looking now, or 11-year-olds, you know. So it gets better. And even for me, if I can touch a bit on the acne situation, because obviously that time is when a lot of people start to experience their skin changing, their body changing. There's a lot of changes in addition to the internal hormonal changes. So I struggled a lot with accepting myself. I mean, if right now I'm able to be on this Zoom meeting without makeup, and I'm like, yeah, whether you see my scars or not, shida si yangu, you know, shida ni yangu, but me, I'm okay, you know. But I just want to tell that person, or that preteen or that teen who's struggling with acceptance, self-acceptance, like it gets better. And I know it's not a fun thing to go through. I know your friends look good. I know you want to look good. But I would say, number one, there's ways of coping with, you know, acne. There's ways of getting help. There's dermatologists. There's talking to the people around you, the people who you're comfortable with, whether it's your friends, whether it's someone else, a friend who's going through the same thing. But I would advise, obviously, someone older, your parent, an older sibling, an auntie, an uncle, whoever it may be, who's older and who can walk you through that journey. Of course, there'll be a lot of unsolicited advice. That one goes without saying. So you need to build up that gauge in terms of your strength, in mental strength, you know. Just be like, okay, thank you for what you've told me, I'll give it a try. Even though you might never give it a try, just be like, sour, because you'll get a lot of unsolicited advice. Have you tried this? Have you tried banana peels? Have you tried potatoes? Have you tried cutting out milk? Don't eat chocolates. I'm just like, wow. Okay, sour. Another thing I would say is, of course, the people who are around you should love you for you, you know. So whether you have acne or not, whether you have eczema or not, whatever it is that you're struggling with that is taking from your self-esteem, the people around you who are building you up and who care for you will love you despite that. And if they're not, then they're not people who love you or care for you or should be in your life, you know. So I think that's something that needs to be out there. If they're making fun of you, also just do your own research. Right now, for the young people, there's so much information available, you know. If you're an 11-year-old, ask questions, ask your parents, ask your dermatologist, check Google. I know there's a lot of information online. Read books on how to handle this so that you can also educate even someone else, a friend, a cousin who might be going through the same thing, or even the people who could be making fun of you at that time. Like, do you know, by the time I'm 30, my skin could be glowing, girl, and you know, and acne can start at any time. you know, there's adult acne and you might need this information. Okay, I'm not saying that you tell them they'll get it, but you know, like, just, it's good to know, but just know it gets better. You're loved. And let me tell you, there's glow up. The glow up is real. Yeah, things get better. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Things get better.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with all that we're saying about self-awareness. I would add on to that because I think I felt a lot of it when I was growing up. There's that whole aspect of comparisons. You're comparing yourself to someone else is comparing themselves to another person. I think it's important to remember that we are all different for a reason, and to celebrate the differences that we have amongst ourselves. It's what makes hanging out together or schooling together that much more rich in terms of you're all coming with different perspectives, different backgrounds, and it's important to keep that in perspective, that we're all different. The home I go to is different from the home you go to. The problems you may be having with acne may be something else that someone else is struggling with on a whole other different level, and it's important to remember that. And then lastly, I'll just say, I mean, I think it's taken me almost 30 years to get to some semblance of self-awareness. I don't think I've fully gotten there yet.
We all on the journey. Yeah.
So while we're talking about self-awareness, I'd also just advise them not to put too much pressure on themselves. Because sometimes things come with it sounds a bit condescending, but I think it's true. Things come with age and experiences you face. So yeah, don't put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect, or even to be self-aware or woke or any of that. Live in that moment. Try and recognize that yes, we are all different. And yes, if there's a capability to build that self-awareness, to try and build that self-awareness, to embrace yourself as you are.
Sorry, just in addition to what Hazel has said, like, live in that moment, like, where if I could go back I would take it with all the hands, you know. Let's just go back for a minute. Like, well, I would really, like, just to add on to what you said, just enjoy where you are for now. Like, don't try to be an adult. You know what? You have no bills to pay. You have no, like, you just be you. Enjoy being a teenager. Enjoy being a preteen. Enjoy having your mom telling you you can't wear that dress or whatever. I know it's annoying in the moment, but I think it's important in every stage of life. If you're a preteen, enjoy that stage. If you're a teenager, enjoy that stage. If you're getting into your 20s, enjoy that stage, because you realize very fast things keep getting more serious. Like, you have the rest of your life to be an adult, but only this time to enjoy, where you can explore, like you're saying, self-awareness, who you are, different backgrounds, different ways of thinking, learning so much. So I would say just enjoy the moment and be in the moment as well. I'm
going to ask like the next question. I'm curious to find out how you guys, I think
did Grace finish? I don't know. I don't think she did.
Yeah, I finished when I said you used to irritate my skin when I'm there trying to talk for the Lord and then study.
And study.
What was the reason? And Olivia.
And
what was the reason? What?
We were just not in the zone. But to be fair, Grace, the one thing I really liked about you was the sarcastic humor. Like, it used to make me laugh, honestly.
Grace was so sarcastic.
Yes. Please never lose it.
I know.
I don't think it changed ever.
Like, you guys, honestly speaking, even though I was sarcastic and whatnot, I was experiencing a lot of anger and bitterness. So that was just like, people don't have to see because my dad was really, I think everyone knew about my dad. My dad was extremely toxic. So I just used to carry that around everywhere. So if I can make people laugh, then I'm okay. To be honest, I was okay.
Yeah.
We're good now.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, what you guys, what was your process of, the next question was transitioning from different seasons in life. So we all moved from primary to high school, and I'm just curious to find out how that transition was for you. And yes, and then we can tap into how then friendships transition from high school to primary. So yeah. And after that, yeah.
May struggle.
Yeah.
Because
So did I.
I did too.
And then from primary to high school was just the real ghetto. I feel like Loreto really, really spoiled me, to be honest. So now my mom put me in some school or in Macha. I'm like, why do you hate me? What did I ever do to you? You know, I was really, so it took me some time to just get over it. But then now in terms of friendships, I think I'm only in contact with Neema. I think Neema and sometimes Nash. Sometimes, but then that's just Neema is the one who I really talk to. I could also build other friendships that I had in primary school. But then again, as Hazel said, or was it Eva who said, you don't need so many friends. I think I have 5 friends in total. And only one of them, or actually only one, is in Kenya. The rest are gone. Like everyone left me. So me, I'm just here by myself, just chilling in my studio. If I'm not being a mother, I am looking for money. That's my life, to be honest. I need a life, which is fine. I'm turning 30 this year, so I'm planning out to start.
Yeah.
Boom. The end.
Nice.
Yeah.
For me, the transition was not so bad, but I remember my mom telling me, you see all these friends that you have, just wait and see, they'll fall along the way. And I remember being like, guy, like, why would you say that? I mean, I didn't have you're just like, she was right. Like, life happens, and you realize it's just different points in your life. Everyone is going through different things. Sometimes you don't like the same things anymore, so now you gravitate towards people who you share the same, sentiments with, same lifestyle, same, like, so many things change along the way. You're never a constant person. The person I was 5 years ago is not the person I am today. And for sure, the person I was in high school is not the same person I am today, so it's for me, more or less, my friendships have been constant. I am thankful for that. That's one relationship area that I was like, thank you, Lord, because my other relationship area suffered for a long time. So so I can't imagine if both of them were suffering, but it's been consistent. It's been constant and consistent from primary, like hanging out with Akina Olivia and Asmaira, which was the foundation, into high school. And at some point, Olivia had gone to another school. Asmaira had transferred, obviously. And of course, you find other friends in high school who you share similar sentiments and stuff like that. But then now, okay, you now realize, now you're getting into university, you're getting into the outside world, and now people travel, like Grace has said, people leave the country, some people stay, you go to different universities. But for me, it's remained still, okay, hey Oli, so what are you up to? Can we chill? Can we meet at this place and just chill and have lunch, And I think another important thing to note is, you might all go your different ways, but still, like, it's like we are all talking today. We've not met for so long, but we can still chill and have a good time and have a good laugh and be like, so that it doesn't mean that we are not friends, but it's just that our lives have taken a different direction, and we're just at different places, you know. You never know. Sometimes maybe in 5 years from now, I might be closer to someone else, you know. So life is just dynamic like that. So, but for me, there's just been that consistency, I would say.